Hello, guys. How's it going today? Already got a couple people in here. That was quick. Just working on some Shire series stems, and thought I'd do a shout out to an individual I just come across a little bit ago. My Life in a Pipe is the name of the channel. You might go check him out. He's a European guy. I think believe he said he was 59, if I remember right. And unfortunately, I've already forgot his name. But yeah, I wanted to do a shout out. I've been not doing too many shout outs for a while, and when I saw him, I hadn't heard anybody else mention him yet, so I thought need to do a shout out. How's it going, Jess? Hopefully everything's going good. Are we going to see you in Chicago this year? Don't crash. Type in your response though. Stay focused. I'm actually working on gonna see if a filtered stem will turn out for me. I don't believe I can't recall if I've done any wizards with a filter or not. This is awful snug. I bought a ream for a filter tenon, but not this one. Awesome. Glad to hear you're going to be there. I've been thinking I need to check with Papa Bear. I forgot to ask him in Muletown if he was going to be there. Let's see what we're measuring here. Oh my. That's right where I want to be. I don't think I want to go up because that'll be the same size as those. Although it varies quite a bit. Looks like if I'm going to use this type of tenon, I need to probably get a different ream maybe. That one's close, but I'd really like it to be a little tighter fit, I think. I'm afraid if I ream it out with that one, that's going to be a little sloppier than what it won't be sloppy, but it won't have as much surface tension as what I'd like to have. Guess I could try turning back a little bit and see how it feels. Just try to do it by hand a little. See if I can go in between a gear here. There we go. That back in and we'll see how that fits. I mean, it's still a little snug in there, it seems like. I think I'd rather leave it more snug than that, though. So I think I'm just going to sand this one since I don't have the ream I would like to have for this style. This may be the same sandpaper I used last time I did a filter. I don't do them too often. Thought it'd be nice if I'd have one to take to Chicago. Yep, that's definitely the sandpaper I used last time. It just fits. Maybe wrap it a little tighter so I got a little more room. I gotta get busy. Gotta get some pipes cranked out here. We're gonna be at Chicago before I know it. I've got a few in the works, but let's see. One, two, two, and three stummels is five. So I've got 5 or 6 of them currently that I'm working on. But I really need to get these stems going. I've got 3 of them here that I drilled out earlier. Tenons on one end, and or the holes for the stainless tenons on one end, and this end is for the Delrin tenon. I got to cut the taper on those still, but I wanted to get this one drilled too before I start cutting tapers. Four people in here. Well, hello everybody. Glad you stopped by. I'm just currently using a piece of sandpaper to try to open up for my 9mm filter tenon that's going to go in this one. Yeah, pretty snug. Snug's good, but can't have it quite that tight. Hopefully everybody's had a good Monday, good start to the week. I know it's better to start the weekend than the week, but gotta start somewhere, I guess. Heard a car start up, and that don't sound familiar. Yeah, it's gonna require some work. I think I'll go ahead and pull that, and we'll drill from the other side and come back to fit the tenon later. We got time for that. There's the hole for that 9mm tenon to go in. Now we'll flip it around and drill from the other end. It's gonna get a little noisy. What you're gonna see is first I'm gonna use the center drill, which is the gold one here. Maybe I need to zoom in down there a little bit more. So we'll center drill, then I'll switch over to 5/32. And that one probably won't be long enough, so I'll switch over to this 5/32 to finish opening it up. Then we'll we'll stop at that point and come back. Down here where you can see, hopefully. And then the little silver one we stuck in is just a 4 millimeter ream. All right, so now the other end was the filtered end. So this end is going to be for the tenon for the mouthpiece. So we'll start with this drill bit here, and then we'll go a ream, and then we'll come back. All right, so that end should be prepped for a tenon for the mouthpiece. Now we pull it out, take a look at it. Open her up. Sawdust tends to get packed down in the draft hole, so you got to kind of go through and open it up. Take a look at that. Oh, there's still some in there somewhere. There we go. Starting to see some light. Looks like it still needs cleaned up a little bit though. All right. Let's see. That's looking a little better. Might run the drill in here a little bit. Or I could put it here. Let's see. I can hear the missus out there hollering at the puppies. They must be being crazy. I'm just looking up at the light through the hole. There's still a few little fuzzies in there that I'll get out in here in a little bit. We'll see about moving on to the taper. And we'll start with the shorter ones. And I have some center points I use. Yep, Chris, definitely trying. I'm gonna have to get a move on though. It's only 6 weeks out. All right, so now losing my mind here. Why do I have this? Because that's not what I use. Got a live end that I put on bearing in there to spin. That way when I put this up against there, it will allow the drive side to spin freely. See how that runs. Pretty good. And this is going to be a little bit of a guessing game to get our angle right, because it's below a degree is where I end up having to set this to get my taper. I'll do some measuring and some figuring. One of the girls is barking. See, get this thing cranked all the way back. Okay, close enough. All right, I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the live. Hey, David, how's it going? Um, I mentioned at the beginning of the live, I don't do shout outs very often because it seems like everybody always beats me to it. But somebody I saw here today, I had not heard shout out. He did mention the Vogue show mentioned him, I think, but I don't think very many people were giving him a shout out. So I thought I'd hop on here and do that. And it is My Life with a Pipe. He's a European gentleman, 59, I believe. Unfortunately, I've already forgot his name. um, Says he's been smoking a pipe for 50 years and he's 59. So doesn't take much math to figure that out. Now he may not have been smoking a pipe for 59 years, but he's been smoking for 59 years or 50 years. How's that? Since he was 9 years old. All right, let's see. We're at 462. So that means we're at about 37 and a half thousandths. Let's see what we are at an inch. Let's see. Dial in an inch here. Right there. Right there. Okay, it's that mark there. Oh, wow, it just disappeared. It was a shadow. That should be it. Okay, so that's 495.5. So 4 thousandths under my half inch. And the other is 37 or 67. So, or 63. If it was 97, it'd be 30 over an inch, which 30 times 5 would be 150. But since this is 5.5, I need to be a little less than 30. 150. let's see, 25. Have to be more than 25. 28 times 5 would be 125, and 15, 140. And I need 10 thousandths on the last half an inch, so that wouldn't be quite right. 27 times 5 would be 125, and 135, that'd be 15 thousandths in the last half an inch. That's if I measure 5.5. I better double check it. So about 27. Yeah, just barely over 5.5. And I want 27. I'm 63 to, let's see what that was again. Right there. 63 to 94. So I'm at basically 31 thousandths over an inch, and I need less than that. I need to be around the 27 thousandths mark per inch for this angle to work out from one end to the other. So we'll just tweak that just a hair, lock that back down, and we'll cut it again and see where we're at. All righty, we'll get another measurement and see where we are. 445. I don't see any defining marks there, so I'm going to create one. That's the 1 inch mark. Four 45 and 474.5. Wouldn't you know it? Right at 30 thousandths. Darn it. So we'll have to try again. That's all right. We'll get her. It'll just take a minute. Get her dialed in. At least we're doing 3 of them. It all should be the same length. So once I get the angle set, I should be able to cut 3 of them in a row. We'll try that. Actually, I think I'm gonna hit it with a little sandpaper to get a true reading. Just to take off some of the fuzzies that were on there. Wish I could go back to middle school and high school and have a talk with my teachers that thought they were so smart. I don't know what they were thinking, but to make pipes, I didn't need trigonometry or anything like that. Just some simple multiplication and division works wonders. All right, we're 442 and a half now. So now we'll go out to our inch mark again and do some measuring and see what kind of angle we got going on here, if we're where we want to be. Who knows? They may just laugh at me because pipe makers use this much math. They'd probably think a pipe maker doesn't need any math. All right, so there we are at the 1 inch mark. Take a look here and see where we are. 462 and a half. Really? I know I changed that angle. 462 and a half. Maybe the fuzzies got me last time. 442 and a half. We're still at 30. Holy smokes. The fuzzies must have got me. We will straighten this out a little bit more. Let's see, back it off just a little. Need to take off 3 degrees, need to be at 27. Hey, Plunder Shop, how's it going? Are you gonna make Chicago? Somebody was asking me the other day if you were gonna be there with those plug cutter setups. I know who it was. It was Montana Piper was asking. That's a lot of money to do Chicago. Oh, I agree. Blowing around pretty good out in the farm country, Chris. As far as I know, we're doing all right. Let's see, 435. Right there. 435. Holy smokes, how in the world? I didn't move it that much. It's only 15,000. I need some little micro scale on this instead of 1 degree increments. That's not enough for me here. Dadgummit. 446. 421. 25 thousandths. A hair more. All righty. I've been seeing some other artists and pipe makers doing some more. Smarty Bob, hey, how's it going? I've been seeing some more artists and pipe makers starting to do some church wardens. Obviously not this style, but with the regular ebonite stems. In case somebody wasn't in here earlier when I mentioned it, I did a shout out. Uh, my life with a pipe as an English guy, about 59, I believe he said. I've been smoking a pipe for the last 50 years. Or, sorry, not a pipe, but been smoking for the last 50 years, but enjoys the pipe more. He's a new presenter. I watched his first video a little bit ago. Seems like a nice guy. You might want to go check him out. I normally don't do shout outs because I always feel like too many other people have already mentioned him. But I don't think this guy has got mentioned a whole lot yet. I think he mentioned he's got the Vogue show mentioning, so figured I'd go ahead and do that too. 50, 450. Yeah, let's see where we are here. Check our angle out again. 75 at 450. Halfway there, so the other half will finish the other 75. Is that right? Believe so. So that means we need to come down a little bit more here. I think we're at 374. I shoot for 350 on this end currently. Yep, 374. So another 24 and a half thousand. So that's 12 here. $61. So the compound feed will only go so far. So I got to reset up to cut the last portion of this. Bring the compound back as far as I can. Then move the whole carriage over to start here. Then we'll come back in and find our spot. All righty, sanded that one up. It'll require some more sanding, but that got us close. Now we can pull this one off and we're set up for the next one, which would be this one right here. What pipe I'm making? This is just stems for Rangers. Um, and then this is a stem for a Wizard, but this one's bigger around. Typically, I use the same diameter, but this is going to be for a filtered pipe. That's the reason this is a 5/8 inch instead of ½ inch. All right, we'll take a look at this, see where we're at. 392. So we got about 42 thousandths to go. $372. Number two, I was hoping to get 3 or 4 of these done tonight, but it's already getting later. So I'm probably going to call it on these two being sanded up. And I realized just a few minutes ago that's not it. Like there's another piece laying around here that I did not drill. Oh, yeah, that one right there snuck away from me and didn't get drilled. So I have two more to work on tomorrow because I think I'm gonna call it a night on these two. Whoa. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Any gimblings coming down the line? I don't know that I have any blocks that are able to do a gimli. I'll have to look around on that one. You may already be gone by now because it's may have been a few minutes ago that you commented. I've been busy working and didn't check. But if you rewatch it or if you're still on, I'll have to look around and see if I have any blocks that will support a gimli because it's got to have some extra height to it so I can get that tail on the bottom end of it. So I try to keep that in mind. But I appreciate everybody stopping by and watching. We're already at 80 minutes here, just making some stems. I did drill this 5/8 stem out for a wizard. I actually have the wizard pipe here. It's not completed, but it's close. It's kind of an egg. Whoa! Kind of an egg shape. That may require some more sanding. But yeah, it takes in order to get a 9 mil filter in there, it takes 5/8 drill rod. So that's what we're looking at currently on that. Alrighty, guys. With that being said, still here, hanging in there. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go in for this evening. I will try to get back on these tomorrow, though. I appreciate y'all stopping by and watching and hanging out some. Hopefully, you guys have a blessed rest of your week. Thanks. And you guys, pipe on.